It has been pretty tough for Marvel recently, especially with Ant-Man 3 being one of the biggest box office drops for Marvel in its second week, and yet we still continue to see Marvel introducing characters that no one wants to see on the big screen. As we now have an article from Cosmic Book News saying that the delay may not have been caused from terrible quality when it comes to the CGI or the movie needing reshoots, but rather something else, and they know that this film is absolute crap. This film was originally supposed to be Captain Marvel 2, but with the first Captain Marvel being released, it was absolute dog crap and was received very poorly amongst audiences, to which we are now seeing the new movie title being called The Marvels and not Captain Marvel 2. As most likely Marvel is going to be focusing on Miss Marvel and the other character's name, which I don't know, instead of Captain Marvel. Getting sidelined in her own movie that was supposed to be about her character. Ain't that something? As we get into the article, there is more bad news surrounding the MCU, this time which pertains to the Marvels. Recently saw Disney and Marvel announce a new release date for the Marvels as they pushed the flick back a second time, with a delay of 4 months from a summer July release date to November 10th. This is what, the 4th or 5th time that this film has been delayed already? That is not a good sign. Its original release date was supposed to be back in July 8th of 2022. It's already been a year, and this movie is still going through development hell. My God, the amount of money that they are burning because of this has to be a lot. The Wrap reported on the new release date and offered that the delay was to give the film time for post-production, which is something that fits with all the reports surrounding Marvel's VFX problems, such as with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And that makes sense, especially what we have seen with Thor: Love and Thunder, She-Hulk, and Ant-Man 3, having Marvel putting their VFX artists through hell just to get these movies out as quick as possible, and with that quantity that is being pushed out, it results in poor visuals. And with this movie needing a year to fix itself, it doesn't sound right. Especially when you have people saying that it needs touch-ups for CGI and a few reshoots. I don't think it would take that long, especially a full year, just to do that. And we are having two sources saying that the reason why the Marvels has been delayed for as long as it did was the issue of failed audience test screens. According to YouTuber Grace Randolph, the reason for the Marvels delay is the movie is tested poorly with audiences in screen tests. Certainly the VFX weren't done for the screen test set to be held months ago, so they can't be all to blame. Now, of course, you'll have to take this all with a grain of salt, as both of these sources have been wrong and right in some instances. But what they are claiming does make sense as to why the movie has been getting delayed over and over again. Continuing on, the Marvels was pushed from summer to winter due to poor audience test scores, so Marvel wants to do yet another round of reshoots to avoid, well, another round of this kind of mess, said Randolph. Randolph continued, so while Disney Marvel refuses to admit defeat publicly, totally understandable, never let them see you sweat. I think behind closed doors, it's a downright sauna considering the huge scheduling changes that have been made so abruptly, which is true. And we're seeing Marvel continue to announce dates of when a certain release would take place, and as we get closer to that day, it gets delayed out of nowhere, when everything seemed to be going smooth. We also had recently shows also get delayed from Marvel, such as Agatha and Ironheart, which I am not interested in seeing one bit, as well as with the Marvels of having, of course, being reported needing reshoots or a fix-up in the CGI. And with the continued delay release date of this movie, there has to be something else going on. And it could be changing up the story within the movie because it doesn't take a full year to do CGI or reshoots. Something majorly is wrong within the movie that they're changing, and it's been taking them a full year to do it. And there was a report by Giant Freaking Robot 7 months ago that the Marvels is in trouble after poor test screenings, and it makes sense. Brie Larson has been disliked by the vast majority of the people, and it shows with her movie Captain Marvel having bad audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes. And of course, with the Marvel implementing characters that no one wants to see, such as Miss Marvel, in which no one was watching the show on Disney Plus, only having 775,000 households watching the show. And compare that to even Hawkeye, which is the second lowest watched MCU show on Disney Plus, it still managed to get 1.5 million households to watch it. And so no wonder, when you have a character that the vast majority of the fan base doesn't care about the character, this is going to happen. And having people not wasting their time with shows such as Miss Marvel. And what does it say that the fan base won't do the same with the Marvels movie? As we have all these characters that no one is interested in, but yet you have Kevin Feige doubling down on these unwanted characters to bring them to the big screen and having all these important storylines and such. With all this that is happening with having the Marvels needing more delays to get the movie to be watchable, whether it's needing a better CGI or new reshoots, it just shows you that Marvel is in deep waters and they know it, because if they weren't, none of this would be happening. And having Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania possibly be Marvel's first ever movie to lose money is just a start if this company doesn't turn itself around and start to listen to the fans and what they want to see. I'm sure Marvel wasn't expecting that to happen when they kicked off Phase 5 with that movie, but that is what happens when you don't take your time with things and actually develop a good story with good quality and characters that people have been wanting to see on the big screen for quite some time. With all of that, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.